In 1974, a 3.2 million-year-old human female was discovered in Ethiopia, and she was named Lucy because the famous Beatles song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, was playing at the dig site where she was found. In Greek mythology, Andromeda was the princess of Ethiopia, and when she died, the Greek goddess of wisdom, Athena, placed her in the sky as the Andromeda constellation. When the Andromeda galaxy was discovered, it got its name because it's in the Andromeda constellation. For centuries, the alchemists tried to make gold out of other elements, and people thought they were crazy because they thought it was impossible. Now, particle accelerators like GSI can actually make gold from almost any other element. Aristotle believed that outer space was made of a substance he called ether, but the Michelson-Morley experiment of 1887 proved that outer space is just empty space. Now, experiments with the Higgs field and dark energy show how empty space is not just nothing, it's made of space. Space particles that permeate the entire universe, causing it to expand and creating the space of the three-dimensional universe we live in. Anywhere the space particles don't exist would be considered outside the universe, unless there are other particles at the edge of space that we know nothing about. Aristotle wasn't completely wrong. Space itself is a substance, and today we call it quintessence. In 1912, the German scientist Wernher von Braun was born, and according to NASA, he was the greatest rocket scientist of all time. He dreamed of space travel as a kid, but he knew we didn't really have the technology for it at the time. So he worked to make it happen. He got a degree in mechanical engineering and got a job at NASA. He came up with the idea of a space camp where kids could go to learn about science. He came up with the idea of some international space station where people could go to live in outer space. He even published fictional stories about it in a local magazine. Just 16 years later, one of the most influential movies of all time, 2001: A Space Odyssey, was created based on the ideas that he had put in the magazine. And today, the International Space Station carries astronauts from all over the world and orbits 15 times per day around the planet. Von Braun launched America's first rocket, the Jupiter-C, and on July 16, 1969, he finally made his dream come true when he sent the Apollo 11 team to land on the moon. The ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Galileo knew a lot about the moon and the planets, but it would have sounded crazy if someone had said to them that they were actual places where you could live and walk and maybe even grow food. The idea that someone could live on land anywhere outside of Earth never occurred to them. They just didn't think about it. But now, we've gone to the moon, and tons of companies like NASA, SpaceX, and Mars One are already planning trips sending humans to Mars. Thoughts that had never even been thought at the time are now a reality, and the universe is expanding, and the number of things that can be known in this universe are infinite, so the number of thoughts that can be thought are infinite, and you can think thoughts that have never been thought before. In your mind, you are not limited by the laws of physics, so you can think thoughts about technology that's completely impossible. But you can also think of ways to make them possible. That's why Einstein once said, curiosity is more important than knowledge. You can think anything you want, but you may think thoughts about technology that you don't think is possible within your lifetime. If Wernher von Braun had just given up because he didn't think his thoughts were possible, we may never have gone to the moon. And actually, if every great scientist who ever lived had just given up, we may never have gone anywhere with our lives. If we always assume that the necessary technology won't come within our lifetime, when will anyone ever start to even try to make it into a reality? There are so many experiments that people once said were impossible, but we kept trying and discovered that they actually were possible. Throughout history, we've learned that there is no experiment not worth trying. There is no idea too outrageous to share. and there is no friendship too distant to keep. Most of all, we've learned that knowledge does not arrive to us fully formed. It requires many minds to think about it, sometimes for many years, and step by step, we edge ever closer to perfection. We've come a long way from the roots of our ancestors, and there's no telling where the future will take us. What are some ways you think you can innovate to improve your school, office, garden, company, family, or maybe just improve yourself for the future? And with all the new aspects of the future that our ancestors never imagined, what kind of new thoughts can you think about? The future will not just happen in 5 years or 10 years. The future is happening right now. So get involved with it, learn about it, make new friends, invest in it, and think about it.
Hey Arthur, good job on finishing your series.
Oh, thanks, Cody.
So Arthur and I have known each other since freshman year of college, and we've been friends ever since. And so I've been helping him out with this series by letting him use video clips on it. And looks like it's been doing pretty good so far.
Thanks to all of your positive support and feedback, it's been a huge success. Thanks, Cody.
Hope you guys enjoyed, and I think right now we're gonna go fly some drones. So see you there.